looking at the marking sheet and go to the student name, their number, your name. It's an optional part in the design of this assessment sheet. And then next. So the first example we have is checkbox, criteria here, rating here. I've left the number value off for the rating, given that it's a range, and we'll talk about that in the spreadsheet. So I'll just tick the options and next. Comments there, we'll see the comments in this example. So this example is the same criteria but on sliding scale, so rather than each iteration of the value or the rating mentioned, it's just the two extremes, little to excellent ability, and the 5 options between. And then comments as always. The final example is the ability to add graphic feedback. So if your assessors were inclined to use Loom, for example, to create short screen-recorded feedbacks over an assignment or a PDF markup tool, they could add a file here. I'll just go to upload from a computer a Loom video. So we need to know. And submit. So that submits the assessment for one student, and now we go back to put our second student in. And I'll just quickly go in it so that the spreadsheet we have has some good data in there, or at least 2 examples. 1, 2, 4. Name. Next. Checkbox. Comments. Next. Checkbox. Comment. And we won't do a video for this one. Right, so we've got 2 responses in the assessor sheet. Now if we go back to the editor of the form, we now have 4 responses because I've done 2 previously without deleting them. So there are the responses displayed, and as you can see, as you get more and more students in, you start to get bar graphs and things like that. And the videos are loaded into Google Drive folder. That's not the only way we look at the results. We can open up in Sheets. So here we have it in a sheet with a link to the video feedback. Go back to the responses. We've got summary response we looked at, but we've also got individual response. So you can just toggle through. We've got 4 students so far. Print off the first one. By that I mean we'll print to PDF. Potentially, if you wanted to, you could go about preparing PDF exports. I'll have to explore automating that if need be. But it's a fairly quick process to print these to PDF and then submit them as feedback if you thought it was necessary. As for the rating grade number in number, what we should look at, or next start to look at, is I'll just go back out of the print dialog here, back to questions, script editor, and add-ons. These are the advanced features that I'm curious about. The fact that we have quite open-ended ability to program that form to behave and produce data in particular sorts of ways. So for example, if somebody was to click checkbox 3, then that would be displayed as the grade range, and then we'd have a blank column next to it. Insert column right. And perhaps in the assessment form, we could have another question just for a numerical value. And you could even script it to say, okay, you chose 3, therefore your range is between these two numbers. Please put in a specific number. And then we can have this form calculating the grade. So all that scripting is advanced. It's not to say that a teacher needs to know how to do that. It's set up, and then all the teacher is doing for assessment is, filling out that form. See what you think.